Good morning and welcome to today's video from Yoker Evangelical Church. Today it's Monday the 21st of December, it's Christmas week, and in our Bible readings this morning we read 2 Chronicles chapter 25 and Revelation 12. In this video this morning I want to take a look at Revelation 12 because I think it actually helps us to understand the nativity story a bit more. Now you're maybe wondering what I'm talking about. Well, if I asked you what animals were in the nativity story, you would no doubt tell me there are donkeys and camels and cows and sheep. But the one animal that I don't think anyone would tell me is a dragon. Is there a dragon in the nativity story? Well, in Revelation 12, there is. As John is seeing his vision that helps him understand Jesus' first and second coming, he sees the nativity story told using a picture. He's given a vision that uses pictures to help him understand real events. And in this story, the devil is pictured as a gigantic red dragon who is completely set against the works of God, who longs to destroy God's work. And into that, a baby is born, we saw, of a woman who then has to flee from this dragon. And I think this is looking back to when Jesus was forced to flee Bethlehem and live in Egypt as a child. This picture language is used to capture our imagination and to help us understand what this all means for us. And it helps us to think about what this means for our lives today. And I think it goes so beautifully with the sermon that we heard yesterday of looking ultimately to King Jesus. In a week that will for many be full of disappointments and difficult times, we need to keep looking to King Jesus. I think this passage helps us by showing us two things that we need to remember. So the first is that Christ has won the victory. Just look with me at chapter 12, verse 10. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven say, "Now have come the salvation and power and the kingdom of our God, and the authority of his Messiah. For the accuser of our brothers and sisters, who accuses them before our God day and night, has been hurled down." You see, there we're reminded that in this birth of this child that is set against the dragon, Jesus, salvation and power has come with him. And so the accuser, the devil pictured as a dragon, has been totally thrown down. He is the one that reminds us of our guilt, speaks before God of our guilt. And yet, with the birth of Christ, he is set down. He is totally defeated. God's kingdom comes in all its power. And we can rest secure remembering that Christ has the victory. That there is no contest in heaven. Christ is on the throne forever. Christian, at this truth you should take heart. Know that there is no contest for your salvation. Jesus has won, and it is secure now and forever. That is why we are to take heart, but we are also to be aware. We can have confidence of the final victory, but that does not mean that the war for us is over. The second thing we need to be aware of is that we are still at war. Just look with me at what the dragon does in verse 17. He has been defeated, but what does he do in his defeat? Then the dragon was enraged at the woman and went off to wage war against the rest of her offspring, those who keep God's commands and hold fast their testimony about Jesus. Christians, you are still at war. You have an enemy who longs to destroy God's work in your life. The dragon is still at work against those of us who follow Christ. And so we must be on our guard, remembering the spiritual reality that the devil attacks us, longing to fight that and yet ultimately looking to the victory that Jesus has. We need to remember that we are at war with one who accuses us of our sin, who shames us with guilt, but that the final victory belongs to Jesus. This Christmas we can remember his birth as the hope that brings God's kingdom, that brings his salvation to those who accept him. I hope you have a great day today, and God bless.